So I've come here to my regular little waterfall spot, my local little reserve. I come here and I harvest a lot of native plant medicines. There's a few people here today for the weekend, but it is a glorious day. I kind of don't blame them. But I've come for clematis. So I know exactly this little spot where it grows. I'm going to show you guys, but it's only just opening now. So this is it here. You can see there's one little flower right up the top there. I feel like these are going to open today. You can see a lot of little flower buds there. There's this one spot on the way home though where I know where it's flowering on the roadside. I'm going to stop there. Okay, so there they are. This spot is not quite as romantic as the waterfalls because it's right on the roadside, but I'm going to climb up this tree and pick some flowers and see if I can get the leaves so you can help you guys identify it. So I brought my singing bowl with me because this is what I'm going to infuse it in when I get home and do my little meditations and prayers over it. Just going to pop it down here on the grass and show you the leaf. Now as soon as I pick this off, I'm actually going to put it into my propagation station and see if I can propagate it and put some in my own native bush, because as far as I know I don't have any in there, and it's nice to find clematis at a height that you can harvest it, because it's quite well known to be grown right up high in a tree. So these very beautiful lotus-like flowers on it. It's the yellow prickly centre here. Oh, there's a little one underneath. I didn't even know I picked it up. So yeah, that's all the flowers that I need. I don't need to go overboard. I'm only making this for me, and this is enough to last me all year. Okay, so now I've got this at home. I have popped it in some pure water. So my water is bore water. It comes directly from the ground. It's very pure water. It's not on town supply or have any chlorine or anything in it. So it's really lovely pure earth water. It's alive water. I want to explain a little bit about what batch flower, like what clematis its virtues and its spiritual properties are as a batch flower. And this is the most amazing medicine for this upcoming full moon in Pisces, because this full moon is going to be conjunct its ruler Neptune, which is what actually my youngest son has. He has a Pisces moon conjunct Neptune in the 12th house. He's very, very Piscean. But can be, have a wild imagination to the point that when he gets tired, he envisions pain in his body that doesn't actually exist there. It's all coming from his mind. It's really crazy what he experiences, but it's purely from having such a deep and good imagination that it actually, the symptoms arise from him. He like manifests it in his mind, like he believes it's real. But this is a really, really beautiful medicine for such people that are almost lost in another world, and they're not really living in our reality. This is for people who are detached from real life. They prefer to live in a world created within their own minds and show a little response to either good or bad news. This does not endear him as a fellow man, as he exhibits a complete disinterest in other people's enthusiasms or problems. Because most of these psychic energies are used up on inner planes, clematis people show little anxiety or aggression or excitement. In the clematis state, a person appears to be a wanderer between the worlds. the reality holds little interest. Clematis personalities are extremely creative and imaginative and do well in occupations such as music, fashion design, journalism, filmmaking. However, when their creativity cannot be put to good use, they fall into a negative clematis state where the energies can take the form of exaggerated romanticism, delusions, and various kinds of eccentricities, like eccentric nature, which actually I feel this medicine is really good for me. And maybe that says a lot about Sterling himself, as the moon is the mother. And I have a way of living in the world like that sometimes. I'm not going to deny that I can get lost in my own delusions and romanticize people and situations, which sometimes is really, really good. Like having such a vivid imagination like that can really take you places, but can also be dangerous when you're using it in a bad way and in a bad context, and to be maybe even like not harming yourself as in physically harming yourself, but harming yourself as in you're not here in the real world. You're too living in too much of your own romanticism about what life is. So this is really good medicine for me, and I'm sure there's a lot of artists out there that feel the same way. These people have a little instinct for self-preservation, making a difficult job for a physician when they fall ill. Often they have the impression that they'd be perfectly content to pass to the other side, perhaps even looking forward to being reunited with someone who has gone before. This lack of desire for wellness led Dr. Batch to refer to the negative clematis state as a polite form of suicide. So, obviously depression and not really wanting to be here because their imagination and their fantasism, they fantasize something bad for them in their lives, and they're not actually completely aware of it. You can recognize this person of treatment by their dreamy look, an unfocused gaze, and an attention of slight confusion, because they are never fully focused on the present. They have poor memories and a little sense of detail. They simply can't take the time to listen well enough to absorb things, so they're very much within their own head. So a very, very good medicine, and maybe you guys want to get out and have a look for some of this, and you can be making this on the full moon. This is such a powerful full moon remedy, especially for this full moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune. The negative clematis individual is usually very pale, has cold hands and feet, because their eyes and ears are more tuned into their inner world than their physical world. They often develop problems with vision and or hearing. So what I'm going to do with this now is I am going to meditate over it. The batch flower remedy has a lot to do with the flowers' vibrations in the water, but the shaman's vibrations as a ritual and a prayer that we do over it to infuse this water with a more potent vibrational medicine. And I'm also going to use sound vibrations in this respect. I'm going to put on the 963 gigahertz, which music, which you can find on YouTube. You can get ones that will play for 8 hours or so. I'm going to get this music, I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to meditate in the sun with this music for the next hour, infusing this with the highest vibrational medicine that I can possibly allow my body to get to infuse this water here. The other thing that you could do is you could find the YouTube thing, and this bowl is quite good. Glass would also be quite good, but put your headphones over either side of this here, and put the music on, and it's going to vibrate right through this whole bowl and into the water. So that would be another way of infusing this. But if you can get your whole heart and mind and your intuition into this medicine, it just potentizes it so much more and makes it so much more effective. So that's the essence and the simple ways that we can make a beautiful batch flower remedy. Afterwards, and it's been sitting out in the sun and infusing, and the plant vibrations and my vibrations and the sound vibrations have all been infused into this beautiful water. I mean, I find water to be one of the most miraculous substances here on earth. Just the way of its fluidity and the way that it lends itself, it's so pure to being infused with all sorts of precious and vibrations, like drinking out straight out of the stream in the bush. If the water is clean, I think of all of those plant vibrations and the energies of that bush being completely infused into that stream water, and I find it like really deep medicine for my body. So I always try and take a drink of the healing medicines in the bush straight from, you know, all of those plant vibrations in there, and just the energy of the bush. Like, different bushes have different energy about them for sure. Like, I pick up on energies very easily when I walk into people's houses or even in the bush. So yeah, that's just a little bit about making batch flower remedies. When this has finished infusing, I forgot to say I'm going to splash some alcohol in it, and that's going to preserve it, and that will easily last me 1 whole year of this beautiful medicine. And I'm going to give it to my youngest son, because I can see from his birth chart that he's probably going to need this medicine his whole life. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet, and it encourages you to get out there and find some clematis and make it over the full moon in Pisces.